Vigilant viewers, I had a completely different video in mind, but then I saw Stay Tuned on Tubi, and my oh my, I told myself that I just had to jump ship. So, G-Force will be discussed in the next video. I now really want to talk about Stay Tuned because it's a timeless classic. It's one that actually has very relevant commentary on TV addiction that nowadays couldn't be more relevant for social media addiction. But first, a quick recap. Stay Tuned is about a couple made of the middle-aged salesman Roy Knable and his overachiever wife, Helen. Their relationship is on the fritz due to Roy's addiction to the television, which he uses to cope with his midlife crisis. But one day, he sells his soul to a TV salesman named Spike, who now has Roy and Helen fighting for their lives in various shows parodying various different kinds of TV stations, from game shows to cartoons. While Stay Tuned is packed with humor and 90s charm, it's also a bit satirical about how media, whether it's TV in the 90s or TikTok today, can pull us away from real connections. The movie isn't just a nostalgia trip, it's a wake up call, cleverly disguised as comedy. However, something that Stay Tuned showcases is that media addiction, and sometimes addictions in general, aren't really problems, but more like problematic solutions, as people tend to use them to cope with major problems, even if it's more personal to them. Take Roy, for instance. We see that he used to be a big fencer and possibly wanted to make that his career, but his dreams didn't come true. And now he's a down on his luck salesman who tends to fail at selling plumber supplies of all things. He also has to watch his wife become the real bread maker. Now, I get it if young people don't get it, but traditionally it's the man who brings home the bread. But he's watching Helen do that, and it's depressing for him. Thus, he copes by having his face glued to the TV. This results in him not being able to properly tell Helen his feelings, as he's only thinking about the game he was watching.
Tell you something that's very important to me, and I'm going to be completely honest. I don't want you to take this the wrong way.
Oh, Roy, talk to me. I can take anything.
We're in double overtime here.
This couldn't be more relevant today, as I said. In an era dominated by smartphones, streaming services, and social media, we, just like Roy's addictions, use endless scrolling and binge watching to escape our feelings of stress, failure, or dissatisfaction. The film reminds us that while all these distractions can provide temporary relief, they often prevent us from addressing the root cause of our struggles and building meaningful connections with the people around us. It calls us to evaluate our own media habits and ask, are we using technology as a tool to enhance our lives or a crutch to avoid facing our failures head on? This is where Spike comes in. Spike is a salesman who works for a demonic media company, which sells Roy a TV and a satellite with 666 different channels. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, Spike is basically the devil, and Roy is just sold his soul to get this TV. And isn't that how it feels today sometimes? I mean, with streaming services, apps, and subscriptions eating away at our budgets, the post-COVID economy, he makes it feel like they're selling bits of our souls just to keep up. A study by the Harvard Business Review suggests that 75% of companies are considering offering subscription services. And you're sitting there wondering if you're going to be able to afford next month's rent. But the final and more important issue that this movie addresses is the major trade-off of all this: the lack of real connections. Roy sacrifices the connection he has with Helen and his two kids just so he can have his addiction to the TV, as he puts the screen above everything else in his home. Often, this is the sacrifice social media and the algorithms make us make. Film Theory did a great video on this, and I highly recommend checking it out. But if you watch that video, you see that we're in a worse spot than Ray, arguably. Say what you will about the TV, Helen. At least he was watching something that you can be assured many other people were. In our world, these algorithms create his suggestions and programmings based on you and you alone. And while it's tempting to say that's a good thing, it can make it harder to have connections to people IRL unless unless you're getting along with people into the exact same shit you are. Now that we've broken down the problem Stay Tuned tackles, let's shift gears and focus on the solutions the film proposes. And spoiler alert, it's not just about escaping the TV or ditching technology, it's about reconnecting with what truly matters. In fact, that's what Roy and Helen learned to do in the Western parody. They learned to put whatever petty squabbles and whatever petty problems and whatever petty differences they have with each other aside and just rekindle their relationship, rekindle their marriage. At its heart, the solution lies in Roy and Helen rediscovering their bond and working together to escape the TV's grip, both literally and metaphorically. It's all about collaboration, communication, and finding balance. So, you want to feel better? Touch grass. That's pretty much what I'm saying. Let me know what you think in the comments. Share this video around if you enjoyed it. And until next time, stay vigilant.